Hello, and welcome to the Swift Talk. I'm Kate, the Swiftie.
And I'm not so Swift Sam. And we're here to talk a little Tay.
Talk a lot of Tay.
Talk a lot of Tay.
She's been a busy, last week I was like, I got literally nothing. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. We've got lots. So I'm going to give you Sam's choice. Should we start with Mother's Day brunch, Pop-Tarts, AMAs, subpoenas?
Yeah, let's start. Let's start subpoenas.
Okay. Well, as you know, Blake Lively is in quite the lawsuit with Justin Baldoni about It Ends With Us, which last week's song, My Tears Ricochet, was licensed for the It Ends With Us movie. It was a featured prominent song. And so, like, through that, when Blake did press, she's like, oh, Taylor's involved, Taylor this, I run things past Taylor, Taylor's so helpful, Taylor. So, within all of the, discovery, Justin Baldoni's lawyers were like, oh, Taylor was involved, was she, Blake? Well, we're just going to subpoena the text messages between you and Taylor. And Taylor's representation was like, absolutely not. And they put out a statement. I have to read this because it was too long for my note card. But it says, Taylor Swift never set foot on the set of this movie. She was not involved in any casting or creative directions. She did not score the film. She never saw an edit or made any notes on the film. She did not even see It Ends With Us until weeks after its public release, and was traveling around the globe during 2023 and 2024, headlining the biggest tour in history. The rep adds, the connection Taylor had to this film was permitting the use of one song, My Tears Ricochet. Given that her involvement was licensing a song for the film, which 19 other artists also did, this document subpoena is designed to use Taylor Swift's name to draw public interest by creating tabloid clickbait instead of focusing on the facts of the case. So no, Taylor will not be willingly giving up her text messages between her and Blake Lively. And you know what? Same, Taylor. I wouldn't want to give up my text messages between my friends at any particular date, at any particular time, because I don't think anybody else needs to see those. Hopefully nobody ever will.
Good defense. Definitely good defense. But now you got to know what's in those text messages. You really want to know.
Well, I mean, I think, so there's a lot of rumors circulating, and I don't love gossip rumors. I mean, I don't love to talk about them on the podcast, but they're part of this now. In Blake's filing, she referred to Taylor Swift as one of her dragons and herself as the Queen of the Dragons from HBO's
Khaleesi, Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Yep.
So there's lots of quiet reports that did not sit well with Taylor to be like one of Blake's dragons. And Blake can just dispatch one of her dragons out to help her. I wouldn't have loved that coming from a friend either. So and then we don't see them together. We haven't seen Blake and Taylor. We used to see them quite a bit. We'd see them out to dinner. We'd see them at football games together. Blake was not at the Super Bowl. Blake was not at Gigi's birthday. And yes, she was in Wrexham. But we don't see a whole lot. We haven't seen them since all of this came out. And so there's been usually you would expect in the PR thing where this came out and they're like, we're fine. Look at us. We're out to lunch. No. And Travis unfollowed Ryan on Instagram, which is a thing. And, who could say what's going on there, but it does not sound.
Seems like whatever the It Ends With Us lawsuits and mess is that it might be shining a light for those people closer to the situation to be like, good. I'm good. I'm going to back away.
Yeah, I think sometimes you get dragged into things you don't want to get dragged into in friendships. And you're like, yeah, no, I'm not. This is not for me.
I got dragged into something 4 years ago.
Were you the Blake or the Taylor?
I don't know.
Who untied him from that chair?
Wow, we turned on his microphone this week. This is fun. All right, tell us everything. No. Okay.
You'd have to subpoena that.
Oh, all right. We'll call our lawyer Rich. So that is an ongoing story that I am sure we will have more news to cover on this in Taylor Watch.
Sure. All right, how about Pop-Tarts?
So Taylor likes to bake. Travis had a photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor sent Travis with a box of homemade Pop-Tarts to his shoot for the crew. It was like raspberry, blueberry,
She
strawberry.
makes her own Pop-Tarts?
She makes her own Pop-Tarts. This is a whole thing. Like, she made them for the team. Andy Reid's talked about it. Yeah.
Wow. I'd love to have some Pop-Tarts right now. My wife won't let me have them.
Well, if you make them at home, there's like TikTok videos and all sorts of stuff being like, if you like Pop-Tarts, but you're trying to do, like, there's a bunch of ways to do it.
I don't have TikTok.
Then do
Do
you have an oven?
you have TikTok?
No.
Oh.
I'm aware of the things that I do not participate in. That's why I also do not follow Ryan Reynolds on Twitter or anything.
I actually do follow Ryan Reynolds on Instagram. Yeah. But she makes Pop-Tarts. She sent some Pop-Tarts to the crew, which I thought was lovely.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got? Brunch, and we got...
AMAs.
Let's end with brunch.
Okay.
This ends with brunch.
So the AMAs are coming up
Mhm.
on the 26th. And things are getting a little weird in Taylorland about it. And these are the kind of Easter eggs that I love. And you're going to be like, what the actual hell? So Taylor Nation's like, go vote for our girl. And we're like, yeah, done, Taylor. Say less. Got it. We'll vote. We love to vote. And then somebody went over to her website and noticed that on the merch part, it's broken into 4 categories: apparel, music,
Mm-hmm.
accessories, sales.
Sales?
Sale.
Sale. Yeah, oh, yeah, sale items, yeah.
AMAS.
I think she's trying to tell you something.
I think so. There's also
Sam, eh? Looking for that Canadian Sam.
There's also 12 products on the sale tab,
Mm-hmm.
and they're discounted 26%.
26%.
And should Taylor release a new album, it would be her
26th album. Nope.
12th album, and the AMAs are on the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
So that just makes sense. And then Taylor Nation goes on Twitter, and they tweeted out, and capital A, our town, it looks so small with a capital M and small, so lowercase s, capital M, ALL, from way, lowercase w, capital A, lowercase y, up here, screamed, capital S, vote for the chairman of the night sky.
You know, on Reddit, AMA is Ask Me Anything.
No, I know, but the American Music Awards.
It could be Ask Me Anything
Yeah,
soon.
I don't
Soon.
think so. I think this is the American Music Awards.
No, it's
What if she's like, instead of tuning into this, you should tune into
she's going to tune into a big thing on Reddit, and it's going to blow up the internet.
Yeah. Knowing what you know about Taylor, do you think that's a likely scenario?
I mean,
Do you imagine if she did that?
if she figures out that every time there's something that's like, oh, this is going to be televised, it'll be a big deal. You know what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do my thing. And everyone's going to like tune in and then find out that I'm doing something and tune immediately out.
I don't think she's going to do that. That would be...
Is it because you know that she's going to do that?
That would be what they call petty. And you guys get mad at her when she's perceived as petty.
Perceived is a strong word. Also, yeah, we get mad at it, but it doesn't mean that she's not going to.
Well, you know. She likes to keep you guessing. Who could say, guys? Who could say?
Who could say?
Mm-hmm.
Bubbles and brunch?
We've had an actual photographic evidence Taylor sighting. Photograph of Taylor.
In the wild?
In the wild.
Kansas City?
Philadelphia.
Oh, flying, eh?
Brunching with the moms. A fan snapped a pic of Taylor out to brunch, not in a private room, out in the open, just living her life with Mama Kelce, Jason and Kylie Kelce, Travis Kelce. We didn't see Andrea. I think Andrea was there. I've heard she might have been Mama Swift.
Mm-hmm.
But then Jason gave an interview, said Taylor has met baby Finley, who they just had. Yeah, we've seen her. She's made an appearance.
She's real. She's out in the wild.
And you only see Taylor if Taylor wants to be seen. We have not had photographic evidence of Taylor since the Super Bowl.
Sounds like someone's been busy trying to put together their little production set so they can do an AMA during the AMAs.
Or, recording a new album, getting Taylor's version ready.
Let it go. She's never doing another album in her. Let it go. In our lifetime.
I don't know if there's a back door of the Electric Lady Studios in New York.
There is.
There's a back door?
Mm-hmm. So
I've only seen a front door. And I've been
regular
there.
says that there is a way that you can get in and out of Electric Lady Studio
without being seen.
Yeah, the rooftops.
She also has a home studio. She also has Nashville. She's got studios.
Okay.
It's like going through the crypts of New York City.
Yeah. Well, apparently, in Los Angeles, there's an underground tunnel system for celebrities.
Is that where Diddy had his freak-offs?
I guess we'll find out because that trial's going on now too.
What a shit show.
On a good day.
I want to be surprised. I'm waiting for the.
There's just too much.
I'm waiting for the Nick Cannon starring biopic that they're gonna do. It'll be its own problems. Can't wait.
Yeah, between Diddy, Karen Reed, the Idaho murders, and Blake and Justin, the legal eagles have their hands full.
Well, speaking of Diddy, let's Astro slide on into a baby of a song. I'm ready to go.
I would prefer to be safe and sound.
I want an oil of Olay into this next bit.
Gross. I'm going to be safe and sound over here in Taylorland. You do what you do over.
Hey, you know what? Whatever the sentence is, I'm pretty sure it's going to be bad boy for life.
That's probably why we have some bad blood. Sometimes she's funny. Not often. All right, we're going to hit pause. You hit pause. We're listening to Safe and Sound, Taylor's version. Kind of on the red Taylor's version, kind of not. From the Hunger Games soundtrack, but we've re-recorded.
It's on more of the pink version?
Yeah, we didn't know what to do with it, so here we are. But we wanted to own it. And our guest star today, Kenny G, is very excited.
Very excited.
So we'll be right back. Well, Sam.
The Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games
were starving for good music in their films. Because here's the deal. Hunger Games, what were you competing with at the time as a new YA franchise?
Twilight.
Twilight's the big one.
Yeah.
Harry Potter's come and gone, but you didn't really have to worry about popular songs in Harry Potter.
No.
You had ethereal orchestral music. Twilight, that 4-film franchise, if you even want to call it that, had a lot of we got to get whatever's good or whatever we can get. So they had the Black Keys in some albums.
Yeah.
They also had just whatever.
Yeah.
Gothamo, teeny bop garbage.
Yeah.
So with a big production like this, because it's Warner Brothers, I want to say.
I would believe so, yeah.
Yeah, you need something big. So you're getting Taylor, and this is movie 1, movie 2, 2012 originally. So this is 2 or 3.
This might surprise people. I might get hate for this. I did not fall into the Hunger Games.
I watched the first one.
I've never seen any of them. Never read the books. I got nothing.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You got time. You can stream it. You can stream it right now.
Yeah, I could definitely do that.
What is great about this song is Taylor's tapped to do something, and she's involved in it. So, she's writing. Any part that she's writing. But I feel like this was something that had a little help.
She did have some collaborators.
And that collaboration would have been...
Joy Williams and John Paul White.
Oh, formerly known as...
The Civil Wars.
The Civil Wars. That R.I.P. band right there. 5 years of recording and touring, fantastic work. Unfortunately dissolved.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dissolved is a kind word for that.
So now I know really why you want to listen to Taylor's version, not just because this is a Taylor's version property in this house,
We only listen to Taylor's version.
but also because of the drama, huh?
Well, I mean, added benefit. But no, it's not, she got them back.
Yeah.
Like, they do not participate in each other's projects in any way, shape, or form. Whatever blew up that partnership, it was nuclear. And so there was a lot of speculation when Taylor was doing re-records if she would be able to get them to re-record the song with her. And popular fan theory and probably the better bet was that like this would be a Taylor's version without them. But out of nowhere, they stepped up and they're like, all right, Taylor.
Yeah, but they recorded separately.
Oh, they did. They don't even say with the Civil War.
Yeah. They're like, we're done, so you're going to credit me. You're going to credit him.
But yes, individual.
This is why you don't see Mace and Diddy in the same room anymore.
Yeah.
This is...
It's a testament to Taylor that they both came back and like a treat for the rest of us because this will, I guarantee, be the last time you hear them together in any sort of musical sense. Which is so, like, I was such a big Civil Wars fan. Their cover of You Are My Sunshine is just the most haunting thing I've ever heard. And I got to see them. They were here in Portsmouth. Like, they're incredible. But it's so sad.
Yeah. I think that the cool thing about this song, this story, this everything, is that where it does seem sparse in a lot of lyrical content, the message is kind of there. It's that, it's the panic of someone trying to assure the other person, we will be okay, everything's fine, we're safe and sound, but also the world is on fire, don't look outside. Everything is terrible, but we'll figure it out. We're fine. We're together, we're fine. And that's a lot of the Hunger Games motif of being like, there is no safety. You're a child and you're going into war for entertainment, essentially.
Yeah.
And the idea of it being, if I go even a little bit deeper and nerdier, from what I can remember, Katniss Evanescence is from the poorest of all the districts that are set up. Coal miner town, which what can be better than like a coal miner town than an Appalachian type of feeling to your folk music. I feel like this hits it. It's that you can almost hear the wind blowing through the abandoned coal mine tunnel in this song.
Yeah.
I think that that's what really works, is that aesthetically, full-on composition-wise, the song fits in that movie.
I love a Taylor harmony when she does it, like whether it's
and you can hear the other people harmonizing.
Sure.
I do too.
But whether it's Taylor with Joy or Taylor with Bon Iver, Justin, I cannot. It's like Paul McCartney. I cannot get Justin Verlander. I can't get it right. I keep saying Verlander. I will learn this. I will get
Moreland?
It. Yeah. It's fine. But like when she does these Lana, like when she harmonizes, you're like, oh, here's our theater girl. Here's our theater kid coming back. And it's really like, I think this was really beautifully done. It's very haunting, very Civil Wars, very folklore, evermore cabin core, like cottage core. You get the eeriness of, the Hunger Games, but you also get just a little peek behind where Taylor didn't even know she was going to be going with this folk.
I think one of the great things, if you really think about that, this time and place of when she's recording. So she's recording 2012. It's really like 2011, 2012, right? You're getting like this bigger movement of a greater quality with like what was considered the indie music. So you have like the Civil Wars, Mumford and Sons. You have a lot of sounds that weren't popular sounds that were becoming headline topics, crank this up, get this on the charts, music. And a lot of those bands they're not going the distance like Taylor is as far as a long career. A lot of them had we did 5 years of touring, we did 7 years, we did this, or like we might get back together. And this band's a testament to it because like Cold War kids, milk carton kids, like there's so many great sounds coming from that time that really just are in the long term blipped.
Mm-hmm.
And having Taylor in her early days career, even understanding all of the Big Machine and the garbage and the stuff, and not having that true independence as a recording artist, but seeing these kind of like little moments of like, this was like the rebel moment. This was the let's throw it at the wall and see if it sticks moment. Because if you're trying to really just push Taylor, you're trying to push Taylor into a certain venue, a certain avenue, a certain perspective. This doesn't line up with, from debut to Red, doesn't line up with really any of it. It's very outside of it.
Absolutely.
It'd be like her popping up on gospel music.
Yeah. Well,
but some of it works, and this is one of those things that works.
And we do see her collaborate with Marcus Mumford later on. So you know she has been like turning folk over a little bit in her brain. Like it was something that inspired her. It was something that she was interested in. It wasn't an avenue she was ready, willing, able, allowed to kind of go down that road. But also she was, maybe it's fun to like pop in, try it out, and then be like, all right, I'm going to go back to pop. I'm going to go to pop. But like, I think if you look at like a Taylor trajectory, a country Taylor to folk Taylor, not a crazy pivot. A country Taylor to pop phenomenon Taylor, a little harder to believe.
It's kind of like when we talk about her working with St. Vincent, Annie Clark. Annie Clark and St. Vincent as her just personified stage presence.
Yeah.
Her music is eclectic AF. It's all over the place, and it's great, but it's not Taylor music.
No.
But then if you look at her career a little bit further in the past, like before she starts working with Taylor, she's with Sufjan Stevens and like a bunch of like artsy, folky, poppy, a different style of eclectic, more shiny, happy people versus industrial techno covering R&B from the 60s, like weird specific. And it does bring out a tonal shift in Taylor, because this is that young Taylor being like, I'm writing a maternal song for this character that we're trying to show, like, even though she's killing people and being sought after to get killed, they're an empathetic person.
One could maybe call her an anti-hero.
No, but
fine, I tried.
No. All right, I don't want to. I don't want to go down an entire rabbit hole trying to reestablish what an anti-hero is. Because there's a lot of Marvel content we can go through when we're talking about anti-hero.
Oh, wow. It's been a while since I've had a Marvel deep dive. Okay, so moving forward.
No, it's the song is interesting. It's definitely interesting. I feel like this song is like one of those, it's a soundtrack song, so it sells the soundtrack, but it doesn't always get the same radio play as like established albums.
Yeah.
If this was on the radio, I would have tuned in and then realized it's Taylor and gone, oh, it's Taylor, and then listened to the rest of the song, probably on a higher volume. It's good. It's a good song.
I think it's interesting, too, when you see Taylor collaborate and how she picks the artists that she's going to align herself with. And very often, it's a little left fieldy. Not always. I mean, there's another soundtrack song that we haven't done yet, which we'll get to, with that for the a 50 Shades of Grey movie, where she collaborates with one of the One Direction guys.
Which one?
I don't know, Suzanne.
It's all good.
I should know this too. I am on vacation mode.
It's not the same as it was. All right, we'll look at that later. But yeah.
It's not Harry. But I think it's interesting to see how it is it is interesting to see Taylor with the Civil Wars, and I think both were kind of held in their own little cages, especially during this time. Like Taylor's just starting to like work into the pop music sphere and getting a lot of blowback. The Civil Wars were trying to stay true to their folk, that they didn't want to be a Mumford band, so they weren't really like fitting into their genre anymore. And so I think that collaboration at the time, you see the artistic evolvement between the Civil Wars going into their next chapter and Taylor going into hers. And Taylor's next chapter was continue and to grow and to move and to shape shift into different genres while she found where she wanted to be. Mm-hmm. And theirs was to no longer continue collaborating with each other.
I think they did their last album going after the first time they did this recording. Mm-hmm. So like 2013, 2014 was their last one, and then it was just done.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just really interesting to see how things change in music so quickly. Like if you talk to somebody and mention the Civil War and they're not a music person,
like, yeah, the Union versus
they'd be like, what are you, who? And like, oh, some indie band. And you're like, this is really, I feel like a very important, like 2010s band for me that wasn't Taylor. And people are like, I was talking about it all week, and they're like, who?
I mean, that's like, she could have worked with Iron and Wine.
She could have.
And she worked with the Civil War. Like, it is that thing of being like, their trajectory was their trajectory, and they really want to keep a purity and a resolved sound that wasn't just a commercialized version of it. Iron and Wine is that. Iron and Wine, Mumford and Sons were bigger production,
Lumineers.
Pump It Up. Yes. Imagine Dragons. She worked with people that were really standing behind her craft, and in some ways that's exactly what she wanted to do. So it's like every time I can try to take a step out to do my actual thing I want to do.
It's, I think, probably coming. I think she needs a few more, but eventually we're going to start seeing like the Taylor classes about like Taylor's choice of collaborators, whether it's the producers, whether it's the people that she sings and writes with. Like, I think it is really interesting to see Taylor's choices in that, from the Max Martins and the Jack Antonoffs to the Aaron Dessners to the Civil Wars to the St. Vincent. Like, where it can feel slightly random, it also feels very, very calculated in how she is trying to find what brings her joy in music. And like, clearly she's got an eclectic taste of music based on what she's put out for her catalog, but also the artists that she chooses to work with.
Yeah.
It's really kind of fascinating to me. That's why I always like to drop in like a random one-off collaboration in there. Yeah, and then I like to go right back into our Taylor world. You get a treat.
Each and every week we listen to Taylor, we talk Taylor.
We would say that we're going to roll the dice, but we cannot roll the dice because Sam will be rolling and rolling and rolling because we are down to so few songs.
Now we're picking and choosing.
Yeah.
Where are we heading, kid? What era?
I think we're going to do Evermore because we got a song left.
We got one song left off of Ever.
One or two, yeah. You know, the cottagecore is always like a mixed bag. I like never know. Like sometimes I go into him and be like, I'm so confident he's going to really like this song. And you absolutely hate it. And sometimes I go in and I'm like, prepare yourself for battle because it's going to be a rough one. And you're like, yeah, I get this. And I'm like, what? So we'll see.
We'll see. What are we doing?
Cowboy Like Me.
Cowboy Like Me.
We could wear cowboy hats next week.
We could.
I don't own one. Do you own one?
No. I'm not a cowboy. I'm a cowman. Moving right along. We are so happy you all tuned in. Thank you so much.
I just live in a cottage.
Like, subscribe, follow, send this to 28 of your friends on
26.
the 26th, on the 12th of the 13th year, and the 58th month of the lunar cycle that is Taylor Swift's
of our
insomnia.
Lord and God, Taylor Swift.
Not affiliated with
of
this
our
cult.
Lord and leader. Fully. Well, no, she's not. We are affiliated with her cult.
You say we a lot with cult, and I am not.
I mean, I think they call this
I don't even get
Stockholm
the newsletter
syndrome.
anymore.
You do. You just don't open it. Thanks again for listening. If you haven't already, make sure to follow, rate, subscribe, review. Tell all of your friends. Tune into the AMAs. Tell Sam why he's wrong. Tell us what your favorite Civil War song is.
Yeah.
And if you haven't already, make sure to go check out our YouTube. Ooh. You can see us, my eye roll, Sam's
My ha-ha?
Yeah, your haha.
Yeah, I got a good laugh.
Yeah. We'd love to have you there. And thanks again for listening. We'll be back next week with Cowboy Like Me off Evermore. I'm Kait the Swiftie.
And I'm saving a horse. On a steel horse I ride.
Because Sam probably is wanted, dead or alive,
Bebop.
by someone. Thanks again for listening to the Swift Talk. We'll be back next week.